Whoa, what's going on? Where am I? Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is Fiercestbard. Hello, hello. And we're doing art today. Art. Wow. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do some art today. As you can see, in front of you, here's a sort of colored in, version of the artwork of Zentreya that we were working on for quite a bit. Mooney, my partner in crime, Mooney, as part of Cappy Buds, helped me to fill in a lot of the colors and actually start to map out the shading where she thinks the shading is, and she usually does a pretty good job at guessing what I'm gonna do with the lighting and stuff like that. And here, you know, she does. She guessed it out. I have to make some changes to it though, based on certain details that will be added to this. But it's you know, it's a really good start. So you know, you can kind of see where she added some of the lighting, and then this is the layer with the shadows and stuff like that, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here and do some edits here. Now, yesterday I was actually doing the artwork for the Amazing Digital Circus. This is like another fan art that we are also collabing on, and it's because we are doing a lot more artwork together at the same time, because we have a convention to go to. We're going to be tabling at a convention pretty soon, next month at CarrierCon. So we're trying to get more stuff ready for that that convention. So, you know, more stuff to offer, more stuff to print and stuff, right? And you know, because of that, we've been in this mode of trying to get more stuff complete. So that's why we kind of did this working process of having me do the line art, and then she comes in and tries to do some of the coloring by adding the flat colors and some of the shading, and then I'll come in and do some changes to make it fit along more with what my art style looks like. So yeah, you know, it's been pretty good that we've been doing this as of late, because I feel like it's actually really helping. So you know, so we're gonna go ahead and get started here. The first thing I'm gonna do is the eyes. Everybody kind of does eyes a little bit differently. I'm no different in this regard, in that I do eyes very differently than everyone else does. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go here, grab some colors, and just kind of get started. And hopefully we'll have a more completed version of this by this evening. Though, like, unlike what I would normally do with a lot of these artworks, is that I would save them for the next stream and, you know, just kind of finish them on stream. For this one and some of the other ones, I might not be able to do that, because again, we're in sort of a time crunch with these, right? So we'll see what happens. Though I do have something else that I need to work on this weekend. So you know, I need to actually create a some signage for our artist alley table and stuff, right? So I need to create some signage for that. In order to create the signage for that, I got to draw some characters. So we have an OC that we actually have the rights to use. It's not one that we designed ourselves, but it's one that we purchased from a very awesome creator whose name is it's a creator that Mooney found on Reddit, and their art style is kind of amazing and stuff like that. And you know, we both really very much liked it so much that, you know, we decided to you know, it's a capybara girl. You might have seen her if you follow some Twitter. like especially my Twitter account in previous times and stuff like that. And I need to she's the mascot of our business for the time being, you know, and I need to draw some signage that features her, you know. And I think that would be a really cool thing project to do, you know. Like I gotta get onto that really quickly. So that's gonna be coming pretty darn soon. I gotta sketch it, and then I also have a commission that I need to begin work at. So I'm very busy in the crunch right now. I'm very busily in the crunch right now. So it's okay though, because everybody who does arting of some kind, right, and goes into convention season will have to go through this, right? So it's like, if I can't handle this much, then I think I will be in a whole lot of trouble. Like if I ever go pro in a sense, right? Like if I can't even handle this much, then damn, you know. Okay. Yeah, her eyes have a very specific like look to them, so I'm just trying to mimic a little bit. And then I will probably add some elements to it that are more like the type of eyes that I draw and stuff like that, right? So, that's just kind of how I approach this. Some people may approach it a different way, but, this is just the way that I like to do things. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great Thursday. We're almost at Friday. We're almost there. The end of the week. The end of the work week. Hello, Nomis. How you doing? How's everything in Nomis's land? Nomis's world? And then I'm gonna just add some things that are more like the way that I do things. Busy. How about yourself? Yeah, pretty busy. Like I was just going over some stuff that I need to get complete in a relatively short amount of time, because I have quite a few things happening right now, like at artwork related, right? Like I'm going to be tabling at CarrierCon next month, so I got to get a lot of this artwork complete as soon as I can, and also create a lot of different signboards and things like that, and advertising things. Like I gotta actually get up off my butt and do all these things before next month. So yeah, I've been pretty busy with the art stuff. It's almost like I'm trying to do this like as an actual artist would. She doesn't really have, by the way, she doesn't really have this element in her design, the limbo rings type of thing, but this is more of something that I do personally. This is definitely less of something that is inherent to her design, but I wanted to add it because, again, I'm just adding things that I would add to this. Let's see. What is that? Is that part of... Oh, okay. So I'm gonna change what is here because I just want to match what you know, is in her design a little bit, and then add some things here that I would, the way that I would do it. Let's see. Okay. So we got that much, and then we go back into the eyes and add more detail to it. But yeah, you know, like, it's gonna be a rather busy next month or two, and you know, we're definitely trying to apply for more opportunities to do tabling and stuff like that, right? So we're looking for more opportunities there to do it, you know, like but you know, applications are hard to come by, let's say, you know, like it's very competitive, it's hyper competitive in terms of arting and stuff like that, right? Like there are a ton of artists out there that are amazing at their craft, and they've been doing this for a lot longer than I have, and you know, like I would say that, you know, like any of the tabling applications that come, as soon as they're available, you just got to be on it. And we're learning firsthand that, like, how behind the ball that we actually are, because there's quite a few of those applications that we missed. Like, I found out that Otacon's application was the period, the application period actually closed at the end of January and stuff like that, really quick. Like, that was kind of unexpected and stuff like that. So, you know, like, again, you know, we're learning as we go, but damn, it's like we are definitely trying trying our best and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. And then, okay, so her eyes can be a little bit more like this. There's it on her character model sheet. There's not much that goes into the design to them, right? So I can keep them a little bit more simpler. And then I have certain elements there that I added from stuff that I would normally do. Now, I don't think it actually makes a whole lot of sense to have the little rings in her eyes, because her eyes are more like, they're less humanoid. Like okay, no, they are humanoid, but they're less human. So they don't really have, like, the diamond shape that's in the middle is more like a slit, like a vertical slit, than a circle, like how humans have their eyes and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if I should keep them like that, like, you know, with lesser detail, and just leave it like that. So we'll see. Okay, so we're done with the eyes. We're gonna leave that by itself right now. Who am I drawing? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I am drawing the VTuber Zentreya. Zentreya is she previously was part of the VTuber company that shall not be named, but she's mostly an independent VTuber now, and she is kind of she is a huge fan of Kamen Rider and stuff. And this was a recent costume that she unveiled on her stream, where it's themed to Kamen Rider and stuff like that. It takes a lot of elements from different riders and stuff like that. So I'm trying to draw like a very Kamen Rider inspired artwork of her, right? So she's actually Henshin here. She's transformed already. Her mask is not quite on yet and stuff like that, or maybe she's taken it off, and the pose is actually a reference to another Kamen Rider series called Kamen Rider Double. Like after his transformation, he always points at the villain and and does this kind of a thing where he asks them to count their sins and stuff like that. So it's a now what is Kamen Rider? Kamen Rider is like a series of live action tokusatsu shows in Japan. Tokusatsu meaning like the live action special effects type shows, right? So they're like superhero shows where the main hero always seems to have a belt of some kind, and they transform into their armor using the belt, and they fight evil and stuff like that. It's rather popular still, even now. The series has been running for like damn near, what is it? 71 was the original 1971 was the original release date for the original Kamen Rider, and it's been running since. Not every year has had a continuous show. Like they haven't made a new show every single year, but they have been trying to. And they have been trying to for sure and stuff like that. So, it is kind of crazy. It is all kinds of crazy right now. So we're gonna leave the shadow layer. I'm taking off the light layer for now. Nomis actually. Toei Studios actually produces both Kamen Rider and Power Rangers, and there's a lot to be said about both shows. Kamen Rider kind of popularized the idea of these live action superhero shows, right? But then they expanded upon it by creating Go Ranger and stuff like that. So Go Ranger would have been 5 Kamen Riders teaming up to fight bad guys and stuff like that. But eventually it kind of became Go Ranger kind of became its own thing and stuff like that. There's like a huge history behind that. And here comes my fluffy stinky boy. He just came back from his walk and he had a shower, so he is speed right now. He's running around and going crazy right now. So so you might hear him barking from time to time. But yeah, I'm gonna take off those layers first, because the first thing that I want to do is this. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna add some details to the armor first before I go into doing the shading and stuff, right? So a lot of what I like to do when it comes to adding shadows and detail is, first I like to define the volumes, which is the shape of things, right? So like her thighs are big cylindrical shapes and stuff like that. I like to define that first before I add the shadows. So I'm gonna do that here, and then I'm gonna see how Mooney's shading looks on top of that and stuff. So there's like a whole process to this that I tried to do. It's kind of crazy. I know it's kind of crazy, but believe me, it works. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn this layer a little bit lighter, right? So desaturate the color and then work on darkening it now. So here we go. And this is something that I've been working on as an artist for quite a bit. Like, as I try to discover more of what makes my style, right? This is definitely something that I've been trying to get right for the longest time. So I'm gonna start here and then just kind of go in and do this. Okay. But yeah, Power Rangers. Speaking of Power Rangers, so the original Japanese version of Power Rangers, right? Super Sentai, that series, right, has actually sort of run its last episode in Japan. They've I know we were talking a little bit about this yesterday, but Super Sentai is going on a long break. Their sales have not been great. They haven't been doing the gangbusters in terms of sales and stuff like that, right? So they haven't been doing so good as of late. So the company Toei has made the decision to give the IP a rest for a while. Like some people are saying that the idea is to rest the IP for about like 10 years and stuff like that, right? And then 10 years later to kind of bring it back in some way, shape, or form when they've figured out what they're gonna do, right? It's the Godzilla thing, right? So like I know a lot of people who have been following Godzilla movies have known that Toho to do this with Godzilla. They gave Godzilla a long rest before the MonsterVerse movies came out. They decided to put the IP on hiatus for a very long time, and they only just recently started to make the movies again in Japan. Meanwhile, the MonsterVerse movies have continued to be produced in the West and stuff like that. But like it's just a thing that they like to do, to just kind of like give people a chance to miss the product, and then when they bring it back, it allows them to reimagine the product in some way, shape, or form that might be better for it and stuff like that. So Power Rangers is kind of going through that phase of it, and the final episode of Super Sentai debuted for the time being anyway, and stuff like that over in Japan. Now, does that mean Power Rangers is going on hiatus because they have no more footage to use, right? Not necessarily. Power Rangers, from what I've been hearing, it sounds like they're gonna attempt to do a show without the Super Sentai footage films and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true because I don't follow Super Sentai and Power Rangers as much as I do with Kamen Rider, so I don't know if it's necessarily 100% sure that they're gonna do their own, but there's some rumblings about it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they decide to do. And yes, Coffee sees a bunch of dogs probably across the street from us and is busily telling them to get off his lawn. So apologies for all the barking. Now, I might be going a little bit too heavily with this. So okay, let's see. How is this gonna work? Yeah, sometimes when you do stuff like this, right, it can get really muddy looking because of how smooth that it's gotta be, right? So, you know. Let's see if I can get it to go the way that I need it to. He's so noisy, right? Okay.
Working on that instead?
Hmm?
Working on that one instead?
Yep.
It's so close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tummy.
Oh, you redoing the tummy?
Yeah. So I gotta kind of flip between this layer and this layer.
Kind of see where the shadows are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's where I theorized the tummy would be, or the belly button. Based on the angle you made.
Yeah, you know? So I did do two ideas. Like yours over here is more like this side, so as opposed to this side. So we can do this.
It's up to you. You can redo it completely. You can make your belly lower if you want.
No, it's okay. It doesn't need to be lower because you need the space here and then, you know, everything down here. So it's actually in a pretty good space for all this. So
You're so crazy after that.
I know.
Did you tell Chad why he had to go for another bath?
Wait. Hold on. Let's see.
Hey.
There we go. But yeah, our stinky boy needed to take a bath because yeah, he was getting a little extra stinky there, and then I took him for a walk, and unfortunately, like okay, so you know dogs do their thing, but he decided to do his thing and leave a huge mess on himself. So when I brought him back up, he needed to really. He really needed to yeah. So now he's hyper. He's hyper form Kabuto right now. He's clocked up and he's all over the place right now.
Look at I keep opening my hand and he's just like like give it to me.
Because you're not giving him his treat. He's like, where is it?
Turn around. Oh, I got the lunch for this weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yes, it was sent to us
Oh, okay.
by Mama Mooney.
Oh, okay.
First one. That means we need to leave this one.
Oh.
You can probably go.
Okay.
Sit.
Wait, what is this for again?
Because my cousin's visiting.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Wait. Wait. Wait.
So let's take that off for now.
Goodbye. Also see fish actually.
You know? But does he deserve it? Is
He
he?
doesn't.
He doesn't deserve it? Because he's being a little butt. Yeah, I'm just trying to construct a belly button for her, because her suit over here is much tighter fitting in this area over here. So I'm just trying to do this little by little and stuff like that, and you know, like eventually we'll get there.
You got enough treats. You won't even eat the rest of your stick.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works. You have 2 sticks you haven't been eating.
Yeah, he does that. I will give him like a treat or something like that, and then he'll like eat it till the part he doesn't like, and then he's like,
You're so picky.
yeah.
Because we didn't give you vegetables yet?
Is that why?
Vegetables? Vegetables?
Was he grumbling just now? He's like,
Hands down. That's what the real thing is.
oh, it's auto-saving.
Hey. Stop it.
But yeah, when you first kind of do this, it's kind of a mess until like you get to a certain point, and then it just kind of comes together. So I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen here. Like sometimes you just gotta kind of trust the process to work out. Coffee, what you doing, huh?
Poppy, stop.
Oops. Oops, that was the wrong tool. Yeah, this is also one of those streams I feel like I'm thinking a lot, so I'm not really talking all that much, unfortunately. Why is he so grumbly? Hmm? Yeah, I might have this layer a little bit too... Like, the shading here is a little bit too heavy-handed, so I might have to actually bring it down a little bit. Abby, what's wrong? Huh? He's probably expecting another treat. But he hasn't even finished the one that he already has, so it's like, come on, puppy, why? Why, puppy? And now I'm at the point where I'm starting to kind of be able to shape this a little bit more. And, puppy, what's going on? What's going on, huh? What do you want? What do you want? You already got a treat. Yeah, he's being a menace because he just got a bath. And I think, in his mind, it's like, I went through all of that trauma, the trauma of taking a shower. Hydrate, thank you. Oh yeah, actually, I should go get something to hydrate. Hold on, guys. And in the meantime, I'll go get something for puppy. Hold on. Hold on, guys. A stick here. What happened to your treat stick? Huh? Okay. I am back and I have a hydrate. I have a hydrate to do. There we go. Now the only problem with doing it like this, right? It's like, how detailed should it really be? Because here's the thing, right? Like, her... Let's see, hold on. Let me just make sure that I got this in the right place. Okay, so her outfit here is basically skin tight in certain areas, but not exactly like that in other areas. So, oh, now he's attacking the, sorry. Puppy is actually attacking, one of our, product boxes. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, you got him? Okay. He's attacking one of the the stock of our products. Oh, of course he I just gave you some fishies. He's so greedy right now. Okay, and then when we get done with this, we'll add the shadows back to it, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and all this is just to define, again, like, the volumes on the character, right? Like, you can very easily do a in cell shaded style artwork, especially for anime characters, right? Like, you can very easily not do any of this, right? Like, you could just do the shadows where they are and stuff like that, and it'll look fine like that. There's nothing wrong with doing it like that, but I kind of want to do this because I just like the extra detail from doing stuff like this. So now I'm gonna add a slightly darker color here so that it's not all the same color. And again, it could get very muddy looking doing it this way, right? Like, it has a very early Photoshop era, airbrush style with a lot of stuff when you do it like this, right? So you got to be very selective of what you do, and then have a good mix of hard and soft shadows, right? So right now these are all soft shadows basically, right? So I'm gonna have them be predominantly the soft shadows here, and then I will add in the hard shadows from the cell shaded stuff in a bit. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on here and why is Bard doing this. And as you add each layer of it, if you're patient with it, it'll start to get more and more defined, and you'll start to see where things fall with this. So Okay, let's see. Okay. So, after all that, you kind of start to see where it's starting to form up. I mean, there's still quite a bit of work to get this to look the way that I want it to, but, it's starting to get there, right? Whoops, I had the wrong tool for that one. Whoops. And then you can add in some stuff here, right? Like so. So for example, oops, I'm just trying to get the right size of. Okay, so you get something like that, and then you take the fingertip tool. Yeah, I'm just trying to add wrinkles, right? Like where the costume would normally have wrinkly folds and things like that, right? Like that just kind of shows through in the material. So, we're gonna try that a little bit. Okay. Golden, what's up? Thanks for lurking. Super appreciate you dropping by. Totally. We were just working on this here Kamen Rider themed Zentreya. And just to kind of like, you know, give an idea for see, like, you see that detail that's already on there, right? That I'm trying to put into this, right? So let's see. And then we add in Mooney's shadows, right? So Mooney's shadows here, right? You can kind of see how having hard shadows adds to it, right? Once you have the hard shadows on, they just need to be a different color though. Like she picked a rather purplish color, right? Which is fine, fine normally, but for this one they might be a little bit too purple, so I try not to saturate it that much and stuff like that. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Oh. Hey. Okay. Just trying to build up the belly button here now. Because again, it's not going to be really that visually present, right? Here, but just indicating that it's there is okay. And then I'm just adding a little bit more here to curve it a little bit so that it's following the the costume. Okay. And again, most of this is just building on what Mooney has already done here, and then just like changing it so that it's more like the style that I usually work in. Okay, let's see if we can get this to look the way that we think it's supposed to look. Oops. you could kind of start to see where we were going with this, right? Like, again, Mooney made some pretty good choices in terms of where the shadows should be, so it gets us started. And then, we go in here and then we just kind of complete the look, right? Okay, and then add certain things here, like yeah, I'm always trying to add like some kind of indication that there's like folds and stuff like that somewhere, right? Like on this, because like the reasoning behind that is that this costume itself, right, is essentially the same as like a live action type of cosplay type of material, right? Like the undersuit is always done in a material that's like latex style and stuff like that, right? Or maybe rubber or something like that, right? But it's always gonna bend and fold with like the person who is wearing it, right? Like, it's gonna have some kind of realistic interaction with where the joints are and stuff like that. So I'm trying to like, show that this is a costume, right? Just to kind of bring it in line with the type of theme that this is supposed to be, right? Like, it is a toku costume, so at the end of the day, it's gonna show that it's like for some kind of live action production in some way, shape, or form, right? And oops, wrong tool. Ara Ara. Is it because I'm on the booba? Is that why? It's quiet. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, you know, like in a lot of situations like this, when I'm really thinking, like I'm burning up my brain power right now, in thinking of where the shading and the highlights and stuff like that should be and stuff like that, it does get really quiet. Unfortunately, you know. Yeah, it's just like because this is like mostly a working stream for me, so. Let's see. This illustration just makes one want to focus. It really does. It really does, you know? Don't forget to fix. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me actually do that right now, actually. So, the lines on the chest here for this, right? They are in a pretty good place, actually. It's just, you always have to, when you do stuff like this, right? You always have to think about, like, the actual characters, oh man, how do I explain this, right? So, like, every object is gonna have a certain surface, right? So the booba is curved like this, right? So whenever you draw, like, patterns and stuff on the booba, you never really want to draw them straight, right? You always want to go with the curve. Because if you go with the curve, then you're giving the booba the actual surface area that it's covering. Otherwise, this is more of a flat surface there, and you know the booba is not really on a flat surface like that. So it's probably why you felt like it wasn't looking. Are you saying that boobs? Yes, yes. Since they're not straight, yes. That is exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm glad you understand. Like, actually, this line right here is fine. This one that's going this way is fine because it has that slight curve to it, right? But then this side over here needs to actually go along with it, like. And then this can come down where it was. Is I trying to swing your arm to get the right shot? Yeah. That's basically what it is, right? And it's not even that big of a change from how it was drawn before when you made the change to it to add the extra things that were missing here, right? It's just like, once you follow that, you can kind of see like, oh, now it's actually making more sense. So something like when you were drawing it, it kept looking a little bit off to you because you drew it straight like that. But like you just make a little bit of a change to it, and it's suddenly like, oh, okay. Though I probably should have had it done or like the way that it should have been done in the first place to avoid situations like that. But like again, like unfortunately, I was in a hurry, like for no reason. I was just like speed running through all this stuff when I should have been a little bit more careful with everything. But it's kind of. It is kind of what happened, so... Make it more LGBT friendly next time, get it. okay, I got it. And then the same thing over here, like, where you drew it in, over here is not necessarily the wrong area. It's actually the right area, but it's still too straight. So we just gotta make a little bit of a change to the direction and the curvature that it has, and then it'll be fine. Whoops, wrong color. Blue, what's up? She got no wrong areas? No, she don't got no wrong areas. That's for sure. How are you doing, Blue? Hope you're having a good Thursday. It's almost Friday. End of the work week coming soon for me. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear, I'm just working on this artwork of Zentreya. I finished the line art for it a little bit ago, and then Mooney did the initial pass on the colors for this, right? So, I'm just going in and adding things to it that more reflect basically the way that I would do stuff. but you know, like again, you know, Mooney has a good sense for where I'm gonna actually do the colors for stuff a lot. So she generally gets the shadows in the right places where I was thinking about doing it in the first place, and then I go in and I just make a few modifications, and then you know we're good. So. But how am I? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just you know, it's Thursday, so I'm like ready for the weekend right now. I'm just like so ready for the weekend. My job, you know, things have been kind of hectic with stuff at work, so I've just been like, oh, like I need this. Let's grab the purple that we were using before. Teamwork makes the dream work and all that. It really does, you know. I'm very fortunate to have Mooney help me out with so much of this, right? Like, it's just one of those things where, you know, we're so the reason that she's helping me a lot is you know, like we got into a convention to table at a upcoming convention. It's called CarrierCon. It's gonna be in Alameda in California next month and stuff like that, right? And you know, like in order to help with tabling stuff, you know, she's offered to help me to initiate coloring for a lot of the art projects that we're doing and stuff like that to help save some time. You know, normally, if for those of you who have been watching my stream for a while now, you guys know that it takes me like, what is it, 6 or 7 streams to even get to this point and stuff like that, where Mooney is rather quick in adding the colors needed and stuff like that. So you know, and again, she has a good sense for where I'm gonna actually consider the shadows and stuff like that, right? So you know, when she adds this stuff to it, it just makes it a lot easier for me to come in and to complete certain things, right? In the style that I was already, you know, gonna try to do it in. So you know, it helps a lot. It helps a lot, and you know, ultimately, it helps both of us because you know we're gonna have more art completed and ready for the convention, right? You're lucky. I know, we got so lucky. It's like, it's one of those things where tabling at a convention is hard, right? In terms of not just doing the actual table, but getting in. It's so competitive. So you know, this is not the first tabling experience that we've had, right? We've had a couple of others before this, but this is the first one where we're like, okay, yeah, like we gotta duck down and try really hard for and stuff like that, right? Because like the previous time that we tabled was at Anime Revo, and Anime Revo we just kind of lucked into. We didn't apply to be at that one, but we happened, like Mooney happened to have a friend of hers that had a table available, but they couldn't make it and stuff, right? And the thing is, like, if you leave that spot empty, you're doing a disservice to the people that are that are actually in attendance, because a lot of times with artist alley tables and stuff like that, right? If there's like an empty spot somewhere, the table is cooler than me. I got yeah, you know, no. The table's not cooler than you. No. Mooney, no. Why would you say that the table is cooler than you? It's not cooler than you. But yeah, it's one of those situations where, you know, like if somebody doesn't take the table, then that's just an empty spot in the hall. And what happens with that empty spot is that sometimes that can lead to people avoiding that area because it's just empty, and it's like people look at that and think, oh, that's probably not, you know, a place to go to, or maybe people will stand in front of the empty spot and think that they can just kind of take up that space. So it causes a lot of issues for yeah, so we ended up like becoming unauthorized sellers there, and we just had to take up the spot because it's already been paid for, and then just like, you know, be there, right? Like, so we didn't have to necessarily, but you know, like as a favor to, you know, the people around the table, and you know, and since it was available anyway, right? It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, let's give this a shot. And we were not ready. When we did it, we had like we literally found out about it the night before. I mean, the day before. And then we had to prepare overnight. I had like, what was it, like 5 prints? And then we still had to print some more stuff. like on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to speed run the prep, and in one day's the one night's worth of time, it was crazy. You know, was that Mooney in the background? Yes, that was Mooney in the background. She comes in.
Tell them about her Staples.
Oh yeah, like we sent some art to Staples, and then Mooney had to run and pick it up, like because it wasn't ready yet. Twice. And you know, it's one of those things where they advertised it as like same day pickup or whatever, but then they weren't even ready. And she had to go there and, you know, ask them like, hey, what's up with this, right? And they were like, oh, what did they say to you? It's like they didn't think that, like, yeah, like they didn't think we actually needed it immediately. And stuff. So what's Staples? Staples is a store that sells printing hardware, office hardware, and supplies, and they also do printing services. And when Mooney got there, they were literally like, "Oh, we didn't think you would need it right now." And it's like, dude, are you freaking serious? So yeah, I did it. I wasn't impressed with the print quality either. I'll have to say that I was a little bit like, about the print quality from Staples as well. We usually don't use Staples for it, but it was, again, emergency, right? Like emergency situation, because we just had to go with something, right? Like, you know. So yeah, that was an experience and a half when it happened, and it was like, oh great, you know. But you know, I think that the experience was still fun. It was worth it to do. I was very skeptical about us doing it because it was, again, you know, like I didn't think we put our best foot forward, but having the experience under our belt, you know, was like, you know what, at the end of the day, it was worth it. And granted, you know, it's not like we made gangbusters while we were there, right? Like we basically we made back some of the money that we put in to print that print run, but not the amount of money that we spent the entire time that for all the other stuff. We actually visited we were actually attending the convention because we wanted to go to a Hololive concert. That was the original plan. We did not intend to be there to table. That was seriously not what we were there for, and it just happened. And it's also one of those things where, like, you know, it's not like Mooney pushes me to do things that she thinks that's valid. Yeah. And it's not like she again, it's not like she pushes me to do things that she doesn't think that I can handle or whatever, right? It's not that. It's that I think that Mooney motivates me to do things that she thinks is good for me. And that was one of those situations where if I were asked by myself, I would have turned down. But Mooney was like, no, we should give it a shot. You know, we should at least give it a shot. And, you know, like, I think that was the best attitude to have about it. Because again, I would have missed out. I would have completely missed out on it if I was the one making the decision there on whether or not to do it. I would have just completely been like, no, we're not ready. We don't have this. We don't have that. I would have overthunk it so much that it, you know, like we would have just kind of missed out on doing it, you know. And I'm gonna say this right now: do not do what we did. Like stealth tabling at conventions is actually not something that you should do. It's generally frowned upon. You shouldn't be doing it. You can only
do it if you've been asked to do it.
Yeah, exactly. If you've been asked to do it, that's fine. But don't go ahead and just, you know, show up, right? And then just take a spot that's not, you know, like, you know, that you're not supposed to, because, you know, it might not be
you might be taking someone's space.
Yeah, you might be taking someone's space. It's not kosher normally to do this
weekend.
Yeah,
actually.
Because we didn't even really technically have the badge to be there behind the table. And if somebody was walking by and they looked, and, you know, that they had a more discerning eye and they looked, they would have been like, who the heck are you guys and what are you doing here?
Also, our booth was very reminiscent of early 2010.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the style at which people display their art is like so. It's really changed.
It's really changed a lot, but you know, they had so much more prep time than we did, right? Like, you know.
Well, I guess you should describe what we mean by early 2000s artist tables.
Yeah, like, so we had like a display that included like you know, those little building cubes, right? That everybody uses, right?
That's fine.
That's fine. But we had like a pole. No marketing stuff. We had a pole behind us. Not a pole, a hanger. Like a clothing clothes hanger that was behind us, where we were sticking artwork to it. Yeah, and it was kind of small. Well, meanwhile, everybody had these like gigantic. Okay, our display was so small that I had multiple people come up to us and ask us, "Hey, you see those bags up there? How much for that one?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, those are actually for the people behind us. That's how small our display was. That people mistaken us for someone else's booth and stuff like that. So yeah, it's like, you know. And then we had some stickers there and some art prints and stuff like that. But, you know, again, it's one of those opportunities that I would have completely been like, oh, I don't think we're ready. Let's not do it. But Mooney didn't give me the option to deny it because she had already agreed to it.
No, I just pushed you to say yes.
You did. You pushed me to say yes. And you did give me the chance to say, hey, you don't have to do it. But I think whenever we're we
Sakura would say, don't say no.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Zyro's my sibling.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like, good. Yeah, you know, it's like, it's one of those things, right? Where it's kind of like, if you just don't do it, then you don't know what you're missing out on and stuff like that, right? And that was one of those situations where it's like, okay, you know what? Let's just freaking go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? And again, you know, we did end up making back the printing costs that we had for that day. We had other printing costs and things like that from previous times when we were tabling, but we didn't make those back. But we at least made that back, which is okay, you know? Hold on, I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. But yeah, you know, like, it was fun, you know? Like, Yeah, I actually really liked the tabling experience, you know? Like, I think it was very much worth it. And so we're trying to make make a lot more art this year and see if we can get into more of these. You know, so far we've only gotten into one, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know. Like I ended up putting in an application for Anime NYC anyway. I don't think that I'm gonna make it for that one for sure, because that one's one of the biggest ones, right? It's, I guess it would be the number 2, one of the number 2 big ones in North America, but number 1 in terms of the East Coast. I don't think I'm gonna make it, but you know, like again, you just don't know if you don't try, right? You could do fan art of my game. Your game. Your game. Did you make a game? Did you make a game, Blue Blue?
You have authorization.
I have the authorization to make the fan art of your game. You won't be upset at me if I loot it, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. Depends on the game, right? I made a little Game Boy game. Oh shit! I don't have the programming nor scripting ability to be able to put together a whole game. I did try to learn Unity at one point, and it was too much for me. I don't care if you give the guy massive honkers. Ooh. You heard it here first. We're gonna give them massive honkers. Massive. Okay, we probably need a secondary shadow layer here. Because there are some parts that need a different, just like an extra layer of this, right? One day I'll be a professional game developer. We all have goals, you know? It's good to have goals, and especially like, you know, shoot for the stars, no joke. Like, if you're gonna have goals, then have the you know, the goals that will bring you places and stuff like that, right? Like, you know. I mean, it's not to say that, you know, having goals like that are more achievable is a bad thing or anything like that, but you know, like it's good to have these markers that you're trying to meet, right? Like, you know, that are like lofty, as it were. You know, look at Expedition 33, have the lofty goals. Like, see how, like, they made it pretty far with where they were going, right? With their goals and stuff like that. And that didn't start out as like a big triple A type game and stuff like that, you know? Okay, maybe the shadows are a little bit too purple, so I gotta go pull that back a little bit. Yeah, you know, like I think having lofty goals is you know, is good. Like, you know, for me, you know, like my goals in art are to, you know, get to the point where I could possibly be like a professional like level in terms of illustration and stuff like that, right? And it's like if I don't set my goal that high, then I'm not gonna try to reach that point. And I'm, you know, like we're gonna see how far I get with it. And yeah, sure, like for such a lofty goal, you know, that's quite a bit up there, right? Like so,
Chicken tie, guys.
I'm gonna draw chicken tie, exactly. My goal is to draw professional grade chicken tie. One day I'll get there. One day I'll get there. No, actually, you know, like it's a joke, but I actually admired quite a few of those artists back in those days.
I mean, they are really good for a reason.
Yeah. The chicken tie artists were very good for a reason. I mean, they were able to draw some poses, let's say. You know, some very creative poses, but you know, because a lot of them were very well versed in anatomy, let's just say. So, you know. Let's see. I'm thinking of trying out RPG Maker next or Unreal Engine. I do have experience in Unreal. I tried Unreal at some point, right? Like when things were not going too well for me with Unity, I did give Unreal a try because like that's kind of a standard, right? Like Unreal, in terms of game development and stuff like that. I did give it a try. It was around the time that they were introducing blueprints to Unreal, and I couldn't wrap my head around blueprints because I know like the idea of it and like how to script visually, right? Like, so I understand the concept, but I just spent too many years you know, writing if then else statements and loops and stuff like that, you know, with text and stuff like that. I just could not wrap my head around the visual scripting ability, like, you know, of the blueprints and stuff like that. And again, you know, like, eventually I kind of started to get it, but by then I was just like, oh my god, I love blueprints. It's the only way I know programming. Yeah, because I understand the concept. Like, you know, to actually see visually, like, the input and the output and where everything goes, right? Like, I get the idea. But again, I just spent way too many years writing things, like you know, like scripting in the sense of, like, you know, just having it as text. I can't do it. I can't do it the other way, unfortunately. Understandable. Yeah, it's just what you're comfortable with. I will never say one is superior to the other way and stuff like that. That's not, you know, that's not the point, right? It's more, okay, you know, like, what are you comfortable with, right? Yeah, I went to a couple of these seminars. They had them at the Microsoft building, near Cappytown and stuff like that, right? And they were teaching Unity 3D at the time, when Unity didn't switch to their current you know, pricing thing. This was a long time ago and stuff like that. And they were teaching us basic gaming things, right? Like how to do an infinite runner. So, like, if you've ever seen, like, you know, Flappy Birds and stuff like that, they taught us that. They also taught us how to do simple 2D platforming stuff. So I started kind of building on that and making it into things like the way that 2D jumping platformers like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. I started doing stuff like that, but, you know, again, it wasn't like I couldn't do it. It's just that, like, I really needed help in terms of, like, oh shoot, I got to do the art myself, the graphics myself, the music. Like, it was so much. It was so overwhelming for me that I was like, okay, maybe I can't do this all by myself. Not right now, anyway. Only one that is less resource intensive other than the other, and game design itself is a science. It really is. It really is. You gain an appreciation for what you know, developers do by, you know, having, like, a little bit of experience in trying it yourself. You really do get like an appreciation for it. And that was back in my Flash days. I actually went to school and was actually originally a web developer in terms of doing HTML sites and stuff like that, and I got bored of that really quick while I was in school, and I started doing Flash, and I learned AS3 and Flash at the time, because I was thinking to myself, oh man, I'm gonna do so much cool stuff with this. And then, like, shortly after I got out of I got my degree, and I specialized in something that completely got discontinued like the next year. I was like, as soon as I got my bachelor's degree in visual communications and design and stuff like that, the thing that I specifically specialized in got discontinued. So if you're ever wondering why Bard, you never did the thing that you said you were gonna do in terms of design and stuff like that, it's because of that. I'm so proud of it too. Wow, that's such a, it really is. I was so proud of my progress in action script at the time, because it was like, you know, it's like when you have that moment. Like I remember the moment for me was my professor had given me a project to do, right? So it was like a homework assignment to use AS3 to script something. Like just find like an app that you want to make and try to do the building blocks of it, right? So I was like, oh shoot, I want to try to do like a music player, like an MP3 player of some sort, right? You know, just because it was like it sounded like kind of fun, right, to do something like that, right? So I was like, okay, let me look up how to do this, and you know, like see if there's a way that I can replicate the script myself and stuff like that, right? So like I found like a tutorial somewhere. I forgot where I found it, but I found a tutorial somewhere, and I was messing around with it, and I was like, okay, how do I edit this to, you know, be something that like it was more customized to myself and stuff like that. And as I was messing with it, I realized, oh, I can change this. I can change this a lot. So I changed it like quite a bit, to the point where I drew like little sprites and stuff like that, and I made a bad guy, and I actually made I actually changed the buttons on the MP3 player, and I realized that like, oh shoot, I could change this to actually be like a battle system UI, right? And then I realized like, oh, I can actually do this for the whole. It doesn't have to be just like an app. It could be like the whole thing. So I actually like did like a turn-based RPG battle system, and then I handed that in, and I was so proud of it. I was like, oh my god, like look what I did with this. Like what the hell? And it was like I was so proud of it. And then yeah, I was like, my professor was like, oh damn, like I did not. Okay. Like you told me you were gonna do like a MP3 player originally, and I was like, yeah, but I was like, I could do this with it though. Like this seemed a lot more fun, so I did it. And he gave me full marks for that. But then like, you know, again, later on it kind of didn't really amount to much of anything. Unfortunately. Teacher was like, damn, this wasn't the assignment at all. Yeah, that's how he was, yeah. Finally, I can be on Sussy Bard's stream fully. No, it's not sussy. I'm not doing anything sussy. This is not sussy at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello, Yukimura. How you doing? This is wholesome. I don't know what you're talking about. This is absolutely wholesome. There's nothing sussy about this at all. What are you painting right now? Oh, yeah. For everybody that just caught in here, let me just fit. So I'm drawing Zentreya. She is a VTuber who recently unveiled a new costume of hers, and the costume is actually inspired by Kamen Rider. It's one of her favorite things and stuff like that. So I mean, I knew about the Kamen Rider one. Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm trying to complete this illustration that's going to be made into like a poster of sorts. And I'm trying to reference a lot of different camera things from the broken glass type of thing with the and inside of each shard of the glass there's like a glowing set of eyes that is like a different rider and stuff like that. And then like I tried to match some of them, like for example like have like Ryuki's eyes down here because she's dragon themed, kind of like Ryuki. Her favorite is Xaid, I know that, so I had to have that there. Some of her costume reminds me of Fai's a little bit, so I have Fai's down here. And then just because I felt like it, I didn't know who else to put in there because I didn't get I didn't know like what series that she actually likes. I think it's claimed that she likes just all of them. So I just put Yeats and Dio in there. Because I like Yeats and I like Dio, so man, I'll be honest with you, I haven't studied about anatomy of humans, but man, that bull just triggered my PTSD. Oh no. Well, it's because of the I think I overemphasized the bulge a little bit too much. It should not be that bulgy, for sure. It should not be that bulgy. That's a little much. I will do a little something to change that a little bit because I'm just trying to get the forms in there and stuff like that. And I realized that the more shadows that I put into it, the more I'm just kind of like, yeah, I may have gone a little bit too far with certain things. 01 partially inspired my game. Oh, nice. I never finished watching 01. It's one of the ones that I liked watching at the time, though. When it first debuted, I actually have the basic 01 driver. I never got the 02 add-on or anything like that, or any of the other stuff. I just have the belt and the freaking one thing. I forgot what they called them and stuff like that. It was really cool to me at the time, though. I remember I was like messing around with it so much because I just thought it was really cool that you could put the switch over the spot and it would like read it, and I'm like, oh, how is it doing that? Of course it's just sensors and stuff. Oh, okay, I thought that's actually how it is. I find the cosplayer sexy as fuck and wanna smash until I notice their actual base. It's, well, let's just say it was equipped fully, and my base was screaming, oh no. Well, like, again, like, I'm still working through a lot of the details on this and stuff like that, and this part, I may have overemphasized it a little bit, so, but that's okay, that's why we can make fixes and stuff like that, Because a lot of the initial coloring for this, right, was actually done by my partner Mooney, and she did a really good job of filling in the flats and also to identify where the shadows should be and stuff like that. So I'm just like going in and just kind of like adding my own flair to these things, like how I would have done stuff. So this is a truly collaborative illustration for us. Actually, we're also at the same time doing the same thing with the Amazing Digital Circus. Like where we left off yesterday with that is over here. Actually, I should show you guys because I got a little bit more work done on this after stream and stuff like that. So I got most of Pomni colored in already, and I started working on Ragatha over here and stuff like that. And it's coming along, and I got the background in too. So for all of you who are asking, where's Kane? I think I answered that question. Well, some women do have a large base, and that's okay. Yeah, You mean long base? No, just a plump one. Yeah, you know, like it is like, you know, anatomically, like everybody's gonna be a little bit different, right? I don't know how this became an anatomy discussion here, but yeah, I did end up again overly making it a little bit too bright because it's not supposed to jut out as much as I have it, but I was trying to make the separation between the bottom of the tummy to the base, let's just say, there. And I think I overdid it a little, but I would rather overdo it a little bit and pull it back than to not have it be separated enough, because then you know you can't see the clear definition of where her tummy is. And you know, I think that we all need to see tummy. We all need clear tummy, okay guys. He's recreating the movie Up without the balloon. Yes, apparently that's what I'm doing. But yeah, this one's coming along. It's gonna take quite a bit more work. I'm gonna probably work on it a lot during the weekend and stuff like that, right? But actually, one thing I can do before anything else happens here is this. I could start doing some of the background stuff actually here. So let me start doing that. Because I think this is a good time to start filling in that sort of thing. And the best part of digital work is that clean up messes is easier. It really is, you know? The three dudes talking about female anatomy while the only female is in the other room. Yeah, I know. She's shaking her head at us like, She's like, oh my god, Bard. Because I can at least fill in this stuff and start filling in some of the color for the background. Because I specifically asked Mooney to not touch the background on this one yet, because it's not so much that like there's like a very specific way I have to do this because it includes a shadowed glass as the main thing. Here, so I have to detail out the shattered glass particles and stuff like that, and you know, I think that that's a little bit too much stuff for Mooney to worry about. I just heard the disappointment. Did you really? Let's see. So X8 has a sort of magenta-ish purple. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you know, like this is the Bard's fake fan moment. But you know, I like Kamen Rider Zio so much that I was like trying to draw the mask for this, and I never knew what it actually said on the mask for some reason. Everybody else seems to have known this, but I did not. I was like, what the hell does that even say? Like, I can't. Yeah, why is this so weird? And then Mooney is just sitting there behind me looking at it, and then she starts reading it off. And you know, like, I'm particularly bad. I don't have a very good foundation in katakana. So I'm just trying to figure it out, and then she's like, Rider, and it's like, oh! I was like, holy crap, is that what it always said? So yeah, it says Rider on his face, and I was just like, what the hell? That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense! It blew my mind, and then I was like, why didn't I know that? Damn, fake fan, time to unfollow. I know, right? Jeez. The hell, Bard. What the hell colors was X8's eyes? I think it was like orange and white, but I could be wrong. It was orange and white, yeah. It has to be orange and white. And then he's got like a Super Famicom controller on his chest. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the basic colors in right now. And then I will actually work on completing the coloring for everything later on. Because this illustration is probably going to take me a good chunk of this week to do. So it's like when Iris finally realized that CC Immigrant is green because she has green in it. Oh man. What were his eyes color? Ah, yes, a common question that arises when the viewer is actually focusing on where the hell are you looking, Bard? Wow, chat. Really? That is a common question. Come on. Let's see, Fies. Don't know why it keeps doing that. Fies was one of the first modern shows that I actually really liked. I know it was drama as all hell, but you know, like I guess I have the same taste as the stay-at-home moms that watched the show with their kids at the time. Because that's one of the funny things about Kamen Rider history that a lot of people like are kind of surprised to find out that the show was mainly aimed at and made for kids, but there was a time when the showrunners actually tried to appeal to the stay-at-home moms that would watch the show, because you know, like they would do these storylines that were super dramatic, and they would hire these hot young actors, up and coming actors and stuff to appeal to that audience. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. Okay, Geets is orange and red. And then, let's see, which is like a magenta color, which is similar to X8's head, right? One day I'll go into the garage and I'll fish out all my my Zeo stuff and hope that all of it still works. I even had the Grand Zeo watch, the big one with all the freaking rider faces on it and stuff like that. And I think it dropped somewhere in there. Bard Kamen cosplay when? For myself, I don't know, you know, like that would be a pretty good idea to do though, I think, right? You guys think it would be a pretty good idea for me to have a Kamen Rider outfit myself? Let's see. I need some smoke. Very cool. I want a Kamen Rider mask on Bard. Oh, if only, if only. Wow, I'm going quite a bit over the time that I was thinking about being on right now. Oh, whoops. I put that on the wrong layer. Jeez. Okay. You know what? It doesn't matter. Who cares which layer it's on? Well, actually, the PC decided to be like, no, you said it was on the wrong layer, so I'm gonna make that choice for you. Okay. Okay, computer. Oh, of course, it freaking took off some of the colors that I put into. Jeez, of course. Okay. The outfit size is too small for you, and you just stuffed yourself into it. PC-kun was like, fine, I'll do it myself, you know? Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble with my PC for as of late anyway, so it's like, PC-kun and giving me trouble not understanding that PC-kun's time is limited. And then let's see if I could do a little bit of... I need to grab like a piece of glass here, like that, and then go like... And then maybe I'll do something like this to the different panels here. Yeah, that's the basic idea for how I want to do that. And then we'll have like lots of particles and things like that reflected in there. So if we were to repeat that over here, Bard, hopefully you will not take this question in a weird way, or hopefully it doesn't hurt you, but I want to ask you something. What do you want to ask me? When is PC Kun debut? Oh geez, when is PC Kun gonna debut, huh? Just when? I don't know. I know, it's very gracious that I'm calling it a PC. That's a way to not load a question. Okay, hey guys, you know, like, I would like to continue doing this, but I've run out of time. You know, unfortunately, I only stream for like a little while every day. You know, I only have time for that and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, right? Like, I can't really do the long streams like that I used to do and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday, next Tuesday. I know it's been it's gonna be a while, but I'll be back next Tuesday, hopefully with more of this done, or maybe we'll be completing this at that point, or maybe, you know, we'll be doing something else out. Yeah, no problem. You know, thanks for dropping by, guys. Like, I always appreciate when you guys are here to have fun, and, you know, like, just talk about the arting thing and stuff like that. Maybe sometimes, even help out with some of the artwork and stuff like that. Always happy to see you guys here. But yeah, we're gonna end it off here, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Yeah, all right. Like, have a great weekend. Hopefully, by the next time we will be more complete with this. Yeah.